people are always messaging me and they're like, you're killing it, man. But sometimes it doesn't feel that way. I pay a guy $500 a month right now to get me guest opportunities on podcasts. I don't even care if anybody listens to the podcasts. I'm recording them myself and I'm turning them into clips. People literally called me the LinkedIn video guy. But I feel like I have more to offer. I see it in my 6-year-old. He gets real upset and real angry with himself. Well, where does he get it from? This guy. Look at your calendar. Do you have calls at 9:30 at night like you did? No. It's not all about just getting more revenue. All right, we are back for another solo episode. And you asked for this because of all the episodes and all the great guests I've had, this one solo episode that I did a couple weeks ago got the most engagements, the most comments, the most people reaching out to me. So I'm giving you another one. And before I jump into it, which is essentially just going to be giving you some of the behind the scenes as to what's going on in my business, and not the good stuff either, like the hard stuff, because I've been going through like a bit of a transition in my business recently, and it's been a little bit hard. And I'm going to get into it. But what I want to say here for anybody that's creating content for their business, what I've learned from that solo episode is that this is what people want. People want to understand your struggles. They want to understand what you're doing in your own business. They want to understand how you are handling the tough situations. Sure, they want tips and tricks and ideas, and all that stuff is great. But if you just look at what people are consuming when it comes to content, people are consuming raw, more human and more emotional content. And I think obviously AI has a lot to do with that, especially on LinkedIn, because there's just, scrolling through a feed of AI written content. So again, here I am, and I'm going to give you the rough stuff today. So here's what I've been thinking about. Niching down. So when I started my business on LinkedIn, I want to say like when I really started pushing on LinkedIn, I was positioning myself all wrong, because I was positioning myself as this person that does multiple things. I got a community, I've got coaching, I've got a done for you video service. And what happened is people didn't know what I did. So I niched down and I decided to go all in on just LinkedIn video. I was going to be the LinkedIn video, and I had this done for you solution. And you know what? At the time, that was the right move. People were recognizing me for video. They weren't recognizing me for content, for how to grow on LinkedIn. That wasn't me. I was the video guy. That was the differentiator that I had that nobody else was doing. People literally called me the LinkedIn video guy. And like I said, it served me very well. But at the same time, I've struggled a little bit with it because I feel like I have more to offer. That I'm not just good at video content. Like I have a 20-year background in sales. And sure, I use my sales background to help me close clients and everything like that. But there's a lot of ideas and there's a lot of content and there's a lot of, again, tips, tricks, things that I have that I can pass on, experiences. That's really what it is. A lot of experiences that I can pass on from me growing my online business over the last 3 years that transcend just video. And I've been thinking about how to incorporate that more into what it is that I do. And I'm trying to expand past just delivering people a one thing, which is my video content deliverable. You're going to come in, you're going to make videos with me. It's a great service. I love it, but I have more to offer. And how do I incorporate that into my current business model? And so that's one of the things that I've been really wrestling with. And luckily I have some good mentors, and we've kind of played around with how to incorporate some more advisement. Because what I've realized with some of my video clients is they want to come in, they want to make videos, and they want to be out. And you want to know why? Because they're really good at marketing themselves outside of just creating the video content. So they really want to just come in, they want to create video, they want to do really high quality videos, and then they know how to go out and capitalize on it. But I have this whole other group of clients who they don't know yet how to capitalize on their video content. They don't know how to turn their videos into more engagement. They don't know how to turn it into more conversations. They don't know how to turn it into more leads. And given the fact that I've been growing my business on LinkedIn, 99% of my business comes from LinkedIn or from people who I've met through LinkedIn that have sent me referrals. That's where all my business comes from. There's a lot that I have to give in that category, right? Of helping people to monetize or capitalize on their content. And I've been working with a couple of clients on doing that. So I want to share a couple things that I did to kind of work this into what I do, right? And obviously I've got my mentors that I've been working with for a while. So obviously, I work with Ken Yarmish, so I brought Ken in on that. Obviously brought it to some of my peers to get their feedback. But I also brought in somebody who has no knowledge of the inner workings of my business, a brand strategist who we only know each other from our content. So all he's ever seen is my content. And he's a big supporter of my content. His name is Jason Vanna, by the way. And I had a really good brainstorming session with Jason, and we talked a lot about positioning, and we talked about how I can, what my differentiator was in the market. And it transcended just like being able to create easy video for people. And really what I'm able to do and, is to build a content system that is powered by video, that delivers people high quality video content, that does it in a really short period of time. And it also gives them a system to repurpose that content, not only into just written LinkedIn posts, but repurpose their video content into email newsletters, into workshops, into lead magnets, basically across your entire marketing channels, basically across all of your marketing channels. And you start to have this marketing flywheel where people are finding you in multiple places. So right now, for me, I have this podcast. I have my emails that go out. I have my LinkedIn content. I run workshops. I have a lead magnet with a calendar that I give out with my 28 content ideas. If you don't have that, you should totally get that. Link below. You gotta promote your business, guys. Come on, seriously, promote your business. So I've got all these things, these pieces now, and it's a flywheel. One thing sends everybody to the next, and sends the person to the next, and it sends the person to the next, and it just lets people to see you from different angles, see you, how you present yourself through your writing, how you present yourself through video, how you present yourself in a conversation or in a live event scenario. And that is more about like what I'm doing now. It's like, I'm not just the video guy. It's like, no, I am going to build you a content system that helps you to attract clients, that helps you to grow your brand and your persona and your authority online, and but it's all powered by video, which is also another word of saying that it's all powered by you and your personality and your insights and your experiences. Because video is the best way to get your stuff out there. It's the best way to get your ideas from in here out there into the world, into social media. Yo, I just wanted to take a very quick break in the action here because I just realized something crazy. 85% of the people that are watching our videos on YouTube are not subscribed. This is what happens when you actually get smart people to look into your analytics. So if you are enjoying this content and you want more practical advice and tips on how to grow your brand and your business with video, please hit the subscribe button. I do truly appreciate it. Secondly, if you are a founder and expert who really understands how important video is to grow your business, but you don't have time to mess around with cameras, write scripts, do video editing, or blow your entire budget on a fancy film crew, that's exactly what we help with at Video on Easy Mode. You are literally watching how it works in this episode right now. We make it easy to create high quality, natural video content to help you grow your business and grow your brand without leaving the comfort of your home or office. So if this sounds like something that your business can use right now, either scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. It's all remote. All you got to do is show up to a virtual studio, hang out with me for about an hour, and you're going to get a month's worth of videos. And let's get back into the interview. Again, Jason was a big help. Ken was a big help. We've kind of revamped the programs. But one of the other places that I struggled with is the who. Who is this for? Who am I selling to? And I'm very torn on this because there's a group of people that I really want to sell it to, which are the solopreneurs who are not yet where I have gotten myself to as a solopreneur business. And I want to help these solopreneurs to grow their persona online, right? And some of them may be ahead of me as far as, you know, what they're doing in their business, but they don't have the online part of it down yet. Great. But some, you know, again, they like, what happens with these solopreneurs is a lot of these people are in early stages of their business and they can't afford the rates that I would typically charge if I were going to go and work with a big company on video content. So I get into this situation where it's like, yes, I'd like to work with some more companies, but I also don't want to abandon working with the solopreneurs at the same time. And that's been a lot of back and forth. And what I've struggled with is the content, because you need to be able to create content that both audiences want to consume, that is valuable for both audiences. And where I was kind of messing up was that I was positioning all my content towards the solopreneur audience, and that wasn't positioning me in the right way with the companies that I want to be working with. So there are some nuances to having two different audiences and two different targets that I need to navigate. And I'm working through navigating some of these nuances right now. And again, with some really good guidance from Ken, and I've been able to come up with two separate and distinct offers that serve both of these two different markets. So that's the other thing that I've been struggling with a little bit. Now, one more thing. I've been really hard on myself over the last couple months, and I traditionally am hard on myself. And it's funny because I see it in my 6-year-old. He does something wrong, like if he spills a cup of water or something, he gets real upset and real angry with himself. He's like, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be spilling. It's like, I'm like, Jules, it's not a big deal. I'm like, it's just water. We just clean it, get a paper towel. We clean it out. It's not a big deal. But then it's like, well, where does he get it from? This guy who's got 2 thumbs and is way too hard on himself. This guy. And I've been beating myself up about my revenue. And it's like my revenue's pretty good. I mean, like I've just crossed the revenue this year that I did last year. And people are always messaging me and they're like, "You're killing it, man. You're killing it. I wish I was doing as good as you." And it's like, yeah, I'm doing very well. And like people tell me that I'm killing it, but sometimes it doesn't feel that way. um, and the reason is because, again, I have a very high expectation for myself. So from 2023 to 2024, I doubled my revenue. And I wanted to double my revenue again from 2024 into 2025. And it hasn't gone that way. Again, now I've already I've just crossed the number from last year. So it's not like I'm not doing better than I was doing last year, but I'm just not where I thought I would be and where I wanted to be. And again, this is where mentors come in, because Ken came to me and he was like, "But hold on a second before you go beating yourself up about this." He's like, "Look at your calendar. Look at your calendar and what it was last year, and look at your calendar and what it is this year. And you're doing more revenue. And are you spending more time with family?" Yes. "Do you have meetings back to back?" Very rarely. "Do you have calls at 9:30 at night like you did?" No, not anymore. I don't. I actually have built my business around my life, right? So I take all my client film sessions are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The rest of my time, Mondays and Fridays are used to work on my business, to work on sales, to work on content. All my client sessions are scheduled for the second, third, and fourth week of the month. So that entire first week of the month is there for me to work on the business, to work on sales, really, start digging into my sales funnel at the beginning of every month and start to reinvigorate, create opportunities. Or once a quarter, that's when I take my vacation, first week of the month. That's why October 1st or the very, whatever, last week of September, first week in October, we're off to Disney World. And I have built my business this way. So whereas last year I was super stressed out with back-to-back meetings and just nonstop conversations, and there was like, I don't have that anymore. I have a much better pace of life, and I'm still making more money than I was making last year. So what I've learned from that is revenue is not everything. It's not all about just getting more revenue, getting more revenue, getting more revenue. Yeah, I need to get more revenue because there's some things that I need to do, as far financially for my family. We still don't have a house yet. We've eaten into some of the savings from our last house, and we need to replenish that so that we can get our next home. And we've got 2 years to do it, though. We've got 2 more years to work on that. So, just to recap a couple of things from this episode, because I feel like I hit you with a lot here in just 18 short minutes. Number 1 is like niching down versus kind of going a little bit more broad, or just, niching down your services, expanding upon your existing services. So that's one thing. Taking an objective look at your business, bringing people in, bringing new voices and new faces and people that have not, that aren't familiar with your work, that have an objective opinion, that aren't looking at it from the inside like some of the other people. I think that's a really good tip. And I think also just giving yourself some grace. I talk about this all the time when it comes to creating videos, and people that are relatively new at creating videos, they like to compare what they're doing to somebody who's been creating videos for 5 years or 10 years. They like to compare. My new clients are like, well, my video is not as good as yours. It's like, well, you haven't been doing video for 5 years every day, right? Like these solo podcasts, like I'm working these out. These aren't perfect. These are far from perfect, but I'm doing the best I can. It's something that I want to continue to do. So, like I said, I'm putting it out there however it comes out. And I'm telling my team, you don't need to edit these. I don't care about the pauses. I don't care about the ums. I don't care about me looking at the clock to see how much time it's all human. And that's what people want. And that just to go right back to what we started talking about at the beginning of this episode. This is what people want. Everybody's just sitting in front of their computer all day. They're sitting in front of a feed filled with AI content. They're looking for stuff that's more human. This is it. Conversations is it. It's why you've seen a lot less of content of me just talking to camera. You've seen way more content of me getting on podcasts. I spend $500 a month. I pay a guy $500 a month right now to get me guest opportunities on podcasts. He gets me on 5 podcasts every month. I pay him $500. And I don't even care if anybody listens to the podcasts, because I'm recording them myself and I'm turning them into clips for myself. So a lot of the content that you've been watching from me recently is clips from podcasts that I've been on. And I just hit the record button. I have the software on my own computer. I record myself. I don't need to depend on the other person to give me the video or the content or whatever. It's there. So think about ways that you can have more conversations. If you want to put your video on easy mode and your content on easy mode now, I got to get myself into the new habit of, it's not video on easy mode anymore. It's content on easy mode, right? So if you want to put your content on easy mode, you want to work with me to help bring this out in you. That's what I do best. And I can also help you capitalize on it at the same time. See, I'm learning how to work on my new positioning. I'm still working through the kinks. Anyway, that about sums up what I have for you this week. I appreciate you tuning in as always. Tell a friend, hit subscribe, write a comment. Let me know how you feel about the episode. And I will see you back here on the next one. See you.